There you go.
Hi.
Perfect, Lexi. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Had a good, productive Monday start to my week.
Epic. That's the way.
How about you?
I mean, amazing. I mean, what better way to have an epic evening with an epic guest? So.
Thank you. Well, happy to be here with an epic host.
Right. Oh, thanks so much too. I mean, it's so amazing to have you back. So before we start, the drill, I have to give you a proper epic intro. So.
Thank you.
Love it. Now, starting with the whole thing here. Tell me what's new since our last interview.
So I was trying to remember when. I think it was back in August, right? I was pretty busy from August through September with a tour that I do for college students during their orientations. It's through a company called Playfair, and we do sort of like improv-based team building workshop for them. So I traveled around the country to like 20 different schools and did those workshops, which was really fun. And a little scary because traveling was new, coming back to traveling from COVID, but it all went really well. Never got COVID, luckily, and learned how to just keep myself safe on the road. But that was tiring, but very fun and very rewarding. And then in September, I was on an episode of American Crime Story Impeachment, which aired on September 14th, which was really cool. And then on October 1st, I got to go to the premiere of a horror film that I starred in at a film festival in Los Angeles at the Chinese Theater, which was really cool.
That's amazing. I mean, your career, as I said before, it's so badass. And
thank you.
And basically, I remember like after the interview, you were traveling basically everywhere. You're having like this awesome pictures from landscapes, mountains here. So many epic places. I was like, she's basically traveling everywhere at the same time. So cool.
Yeah, I really enjoy it, and I try to, if I'm traveling for work somewhere new, I try to get out and see, and especially during COVID, it was like safest to go see national parks or go hiking or something, and just see something I haven't seen before, which is great. Absolutely.
So amazing. And starting with the Christmas special, tell me, what do you like most about Christmas?
Well, I'm definitely a holiday person. I love all holidays, and so I really get into it. Although I don't let myself start celebrating until after Thanksgiving. I'm not allowed to listen to the music until after. But I love all the traditions. I love putting up my tree, and I love Christmas music. I love singing along and getting together with family, which have been smaller gatherings, the last couple of years. But still, it's good to see family. And also what's nice is like the industry really shuts down for a few weeks, so you don't have any guilt that you should be working or that you need to be working, so you can really just take the time off to spend with family, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is my first Christmas by doing the show, and like a lot of epic interviews that are gonna definitely come soon. A lot of them are gonna be after Christmas and New Year, and I didn't know that, of course. But then I started to see, like a lot of them be like, okay, then maybe I should just schedule it after, after New Year, like a week or two before, so then everybody can get back on shape and stuff like that,
Yeah, it's good to give yourself a little time.
Totally. Which I totally need that as well. So I'm definitely gonna disconnect from everything for a while. But
good.
Yeah, and like, what are some of the nice things that you can remember back when you were a kid celebrating Christmas?
So by the time I was about 2, my mom's side of the family, which I'm closer with, they all kind of spread out around the country, and so every Christmas we would come back together, and that was really like the one time that we would get together. And my mom is one of 5 kids, so with all of her siblings and my cousins and everything, it was a pretty big get together, and we would all stay at my grandparents' house. And so it was a bunch of us crammed into a small space, and it was, to me as a kid, it felt like a big sleepover for a week, especially with my cousins, because there wasn't, enough bedrooms for everybody. So we called it the 4th bedroom, but it was kind of like the attic in my grandparents' space that was finished, and so we would all sleep there. And I remember there was this little chase lounge that I fit on because I was short and little, and I was one of the younger cousins, and so yeah, I just liked that it was like a slumber party. And then we would all play games together. Like we'd come up with new ones every year, but then there were some that kind of stuck. Like we would play charades every year. And as I got older, we started playing poker. But I really think like my whole family playing charades and how fun that was and how connected we were is like kind of when I started to fall in love with acting and improv and that kind of stuff.
So amazing. And did you guys like play with fireworks? For example, here during Christmas or New Year, I mean, not anymore, but I remember back in the day, it was normal that they will close streets so then everybody can throw, like firecrackers here and there and, making fun, exploding stuff and things like that.
That's so cool. No, we didn't. So we would play with fireworks at 4th of July more so because, so where I grew up, I was born in New Jersey, which is where my grandparents were. And then, so my Christmases were usually in New Jersey or Michigan. It was really cold and snowy. So at night we were usually inside and we'd build a fire and stuff. But during the day we would like build snowmen and go outside and do this kind of stuff like that. Sometimes on New Year's I've seen fireworks, but not ones that we would put off ourselves. It's not legal in all states in the US.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. For example, here we used to, with my family, we used to have like this tradition, and I think like a lot of them did as well, that we will like make like so we will dress up like basically we will have like this thing looking human, but inside feel like full with fireworks, but like you have no idea, like full with fireworks. And then like when it's New Year, apparently like the message here or the meaning here is that you're basically saying goodbye, old year, and like saying goodbye to all of that, and then starting the new one, But one of the fun things here is back, I think I was 3 or 4. They never, during that time, they didn't allow me to play with fireworks because, they were dangerous, of course.
Yeah, too little.
But me, of course, being a kid, I grabbed one, and we used to, there used to be like this thing which you just like throw it and it would be like this huge explosion and it would be fun, right? So, super quick here. So what ended up happening is that I grabbed one and then I light it up and then it didn't go out. And then as I grab it, by looking at like, what the hell is going on? Another kid saw that and went running straight to me, took away that from me and threw it away, boom, and exploded. And I remember that, and my mom told me, huh?
He saved your life.
He saved my hand, basically. I wouldn't have a hand right now. My mom told me that when that happened, I just looked at her like, I didn't say anything, and then of course I was little, I just started crying because of the shock that you didn't realize, but later on I was like, thanks to that kid, I still have a hand. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the most I think at New Year's we play with like the sparklers, that you can like put on birthday cake and stuff. Like we've done that, but
yeah.
That sounds fun. Dangerous, but fun.
Yeah, those are fun too. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, cool. And can you share a memorable gift opening moment from your childhood?
So, I'm trying to think of one from like when I was a kid. I was into American Girl dolls when I was little, and I usually get something for my American Girl doll, which was special. And I would like in my house, I had a little sort of like balcony almost like from the second floor to the first floor, and so I would like peer over and I could see my presents like as I was coming down. Yeah. But my favorite moment actually happened when I was an adult. I think I was in college, and my little cousin, my godchild, was maybe 5. And she and her sister brought the flu to Christmas, basically. Like, everybody slowly got the flu while we were there. And so I got it, like, Christmas Eve. Like, over Christmas Eve night, I, like, woke up just, like, oh, no, it hit me. And I was sick. So I was, like, up at, 5 a.m., vomiting. Like, it was not pretty. And so I'm like sitting in the corner, and you wait for the little kids to come outside so you can let them come see their presents, right? So I'm sitting in the corner trying to like stay away from everybody, and I look miserable. And my little cousin, Rachel, she felt so bad that she gave it to me. This kid like loves presents. Like, she is all about the presents. She was so excited, but she ran down the stairs, saw her presents, saw me, and then before she even went to her presents, she ran over to me and gave me a big hug and was like, I'm so sorry. And it like made me cry. I was like, you put me before your presents, and for a 5-year-old, that's really big.
Totally, totally. So cool. And then she went opening the present, right?
Yeah, of course. Then she went
Yeah.
and opened her present.
So cool. And what is like a Christmas song that makes you cringe?
I hate the I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. You know that song? It's so annoying. I didn't know it growing up. I feel like only in the last like maybe 5 or 10 years I've heard it, but it's like it's an old song probably from like the 30s or 40s, and like I think it's an adult woman but like pretending to be a child. And it's like, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do. It's so annoying and obnoxious. I hate it. I don't get it.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas?
Yeah. Have you never heard it?
I just found it here. So, let me just hear it super quick. So it's this one, okay? Let's see.
With that joy,
Is that one?
I walked a hippopotamus for
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit cringe though. I mean, it's like the typical. Yeah, I mean, I see that like going to a cantina on Christmas Eve, you know, or to a bar. Like there's like, so there would be like some guys just sleeping on some tables, and then you go there like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I never heard of this song. I mean, normally what I would hear is that, you know, the song from Mariah Carey that they played it since November, and you will hear it like everywhere. I mean, it's a cool song, but
I actually love that song, and I just tell myself I just don't really listen to the Christmas radio. I listen to my own Christmas playlist so that they don't overplay it. But I understand a lot of people are sick of that song
because they played it like everywhere. Like
I know
it's so funny, right? That in some stores, like after or even like after Halloween, they will like start to fill with Christmas stuff. I mean, I understand, of course, but yeah, I mean, you will hear that song in one store and then into another one, and
it's
then
ridiculous.
The other one, and then the food court and in the parking lot. You're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. It is overplayed, and she's very rich because of it.
Totally. I mean, I don't blame her either. You know, normally the one that I hear is like the Christmas special from Michael Bublé.
Oh yeah,
That's one I hear.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah, and I mean I like some of the modern ones, but also like my favorites are all the classics. You know,
totally.
Like White Christmas and the Christmas song, which I always forget is the name of the chestnuts roasting on an open fire. It's actually called the Christmas song.
Yeah. So cool. And like during the whole so during like the whole Christmas dinner with family and everything, tell me, what is your favorite dessert?
So we have a lot of different Christmas cookies. My favorite, I like to decorate, like we do like cutouts and we decorate them, and I like to decorate them, but they're not my favorite to eat. My favorite are these like sugar cookies that are dipped in chocolate, and then they have chocolate sprinkles on the outside.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
But the chocolate sprinkles are really hard to find, and like because a lot of chocolate sprinkles are like just sugar, they're not actually real chocolate. And on my travels, actually, there's a school that I go to every year to perform in Michigan, in Holland, Michigan, and they have this little like Holland like museum and windmill stuff, and in their museum they have like chocolate sprinkles from the Netherlands, and so like I stocked up this year and bought the real stuff.
That's amazing. I mean, I think that going into diet during the whole Thanksgiving and Christmas time is the worst decision you could
impossible.
Yeah, right. It's impossible. I mean, no matter where you go, it's so many awesome food. Totally.
Yeah, I know. I just try to balance it. I like definitely make sure I eat my veggies and keep up my workout regimen, and then let myself enjoy the holidays.
Totally. Yeah, I agree on that too. And if you could relive like any Christmas moment, what would it be?
It's a hard question, but I think like I would definitely pick one of the moments of like the Christmases at my grandparents' house growing up. But there's one that comes to mind. One year someone brought in the ha-ha game. Like I don't know where they learned it, but have you ever played this?
I've heard of it once. I never played it, but I kind of heard of it once.
So you like lay on the ground and everybody, you like make a grid of everybody's bodies basically. Like you have to lay with your head on someone's stomach, and then you start at one person and go to the end, and the first person says ha, and the second person says ha ha, and then the third person does 3 ha's. And if you actually start laughing and do more ha's than you're supposed to, then you're out.
Okay.
And my whole family, adults included, including my grandparents, got on the ground and we were all playing this game, and it was ridiculous. And I don't even remember exactly what happened, but we got to the end of the game and there were only a few people left, and my uncle just like lost it, and he was laughing so hard, and I was like maybe 6 or 7, and we used to call him Gus because his middle name is Augustus, and I was just like, "It's over, Gus," and then everybody started laughing, and it was just one of those stories everybody told, and everybody would say that for years after, like, "It's over, Gus." So it was just one of those like inside jokes that was really fun at the time and special to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like having Christmas when you were a kid, I think those years are just so special. You know, the fact, I think like during those moments is when you, especially when you're a kid, you just enjoy every single second of it. You know, regardless if you get some very awesome gifts or not, like the fact that you're with family and joking around, you know, it's like a very warm atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think you don't realize at the time too, because you're just a kid, how much work it is for the adults. Like all the Christmas shopping and all the cooking and all the cleaning and all of that. You have no concept of that, so you're just free to enjoy.
Totally. Yeah. And if you have to be in a Christmas movie, which one would you choose?
If I could have acted in any Christmas movie, I think I would choose The Holiday. Have you seen it? It's with Cameron Diaz and Jack Black and Jude Law and Kate Winslet. And they like swap houses from London and LA.
Oh yeah.
And it has a lot of like film history in it, and it's just a really sweet rom-com. And so I think it would have been really fun to be either of the actresses in that movie.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I saw that movie. Yeah, it was in 2006.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So cool.
Good one. Yeah,
I agree on that. And what is your favorite, like your number one Christmas movie?
It's a toss. It's really hard to choose. I think probably It's a Wonderful Life.
Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. From I think it came out in like the 40s. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It's like one of the classics.
I'll definitely be watching it this Christmas. You can count on
it. Yeah, that or my number 2 would be Love Actually.
Like this. Those are epic. I'd definitely be watching the first one for sure. You can count on it.
Yeah.
So cool. And if you could design your own Christmas sweater, what would it look like?
I think it would be crazy. I think it would be like different. So the one I'm wearing right now, I wore one for us. It's actually a sweatshirt, but it's all I want for Christmas is snow, and it's a picture of Jon Snow.
Yeah, I like it.
But it would be crazy. It would be stripes, and then every stripe would have a different pattern on it, and it would blink, and it would just, you got to go all out at Christmas.
Totally.
I like to sparkle. And, every line would be like reindeer on one line, Santa Claus is on one line, snowflakes on one line, you got to go all out.
Yeah, totally. Definitely, you need to make that one at some point,
All right. I'll by next Christmas, I'll try.
Yeah, absolutely. And then check this out. So we make those sweaters and then we sell it online, and then we would, we could put it for like a general, for like a noble cause, for like, something like that.
Great.
That would be cool, and like having those sweaters. I mean, since they're like super unique, then you're gonna know who actually contributed and who didn't.
Yeah.
There you go. That sounds like a plan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, for next Christmas, let's definitely work on that. That would be cool. I mean, I can help you out here, and sell them around here, so then we can create like your own, let's say like your own army, like the Lexi army, something like that.
Cool. I like it. Yeah.
There you go.
It's Christmas sweaters.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so interesting here because, I mean, here it's not really that cold. I mean, we don't have snow, But it's so funny that whenever it's like little cold, then you will start to see people like wearing this like this jackets that they're like, you know, like in Alaska or some place like that. So it's so interesting when you get the chance like to see that, like with it just takes like some small cold so everybody wear you know all of the winter clothes they bought, which by the way they're super cheap, but anyway.
I always thought it was funny. You know, I grew up in winter, and you know, so much of at least what's advertised to me in the States and in the Northeast was, you know, winter was associated with Christmas. And so when I moved out to California, I always felt like they overcompensated for not having snow. That there's just like the decorations are crazy and there's lights everywhere, and it's like they just make it feel like Christmas.
That's amazing. That's so cool. But at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, I do agree that the snow adds like a little, you know, like an extra touch for the whole Christmas time. I totally agree on that. I mean, I did get the chance at some point to spend Christmas with snow, and yeah, it was magical. I mean, I remember that I was 18 at that point, and I was basically playing with the rest of the kids outside, throwing snowballs. And a friend of mine was like, "Dude, you're 18." And I was like, "Hey, I grew up with no at all. So let me just recover that childhood, and I'll be right back." So.
Yeah, that's great.
And if you could describe, I mean, how could you describe your perfect Christmas?
My perfect Christmas Eve would be it's been a few years since, because of COVID and everything, we've been able to get my whole extended family together. So it would be getting my entire extended family on my mom's side together, which would be a little over 30 people together for the week. And also, like, I would want to rent a house that everybody actually has a bed, because as much fun as it was to like sleep on air mattresses when I was a kid, it's not so much fun anymore. So rent a big house that we could all be in, and you know, just cook dinner together and sing songs around the piano and play poker, and then put cookies out for Santa and get all the kids to bed, and you know, have a couple cocktails and talk late into the night until we have to go to bed, because we have to wake up early when the kids want to open their presents.
So amazing. Now, what would you choose? Play outside, build a snowman, and sled, or stay inside drinking hot chocolate and reading a book when it snows?
Both sound lovely, but I have to go with play outside. I definitely love to build a snowman, go sledding, all of the above.
You know, you could do both. You know, you could do the first one, like playing outside during the day, and then during the night you will go for. You know.
Well, that was one of the best parts when I was a kid about going out to play in the snow. Is you'd come in and have hot chocolate, and I remember if I forgot to like put my hair in a braid or like in a ponytail or something, I would come in and my hair would be like icicles. It would like freeze, and so I'd have to like come in by the fire and get a cup of hot chocolate, just like melt myself.
That's amazing. And if you could describe your career on a Christmas movie, which one would you pick?
So I know I already said It's a Wonderful Life, but I would pick that one. And since you haven't seen it, I have to kind of explain to you why.
Okay.
So, and I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but basically the main character in that movie goes through a journey where he has a really tough time, and he gets a guardian angel to sort of show him how meaniful his life really is.
Okay.
And so I think that is sort of representative of an acting career for sure, because it can be really hard. It can be a struggle. It's really inconsistent. You can have one great year and then one really bad year. You don't always get to be doing what you want to be doing. And so I think sometimes it can be easy to lose sight of the fact that not only do you enjoy what you do, but that it has any meaning to other people. Here still?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But so you can lose sight of that, like your work actually has meaning to other people, and so I think that is the lesson is you know, those little moments that remind you, you know, that what you do as an actor touches other people or inspires other people or helps them through a hard time, you know, it matters. And so when you watch the movie, I think you'll know what I mean.
I'm definitely gonna watch it. I mean, I usually, so like the movie that I will watch every Christmas, I don't know why, but it's Die Hard. You know?
Okay, I get it.
It's
I've
like
heard
the
that
movie
is
that I
technically
watch.
a Christmas movie.
Yeah. I mean, that tradition, my father gave it to me. So every single Christmas, I will watch the movie. I mean, for the rest of the year, I'm not gonna watch it, but like during specifically that time, I'm definitely gonna watch it. But I will definitely, once that movie's done, I will jump to yours.
Yeah, you should.
I will definitely do.
And there's lots of days in December, so you have plenty of time.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking on a weekend, you know, like especially, you know, like maybe like during after Christmas Eve, you know, like when you can wake up late and put the TV on and maybe grab something to like, you know, like snack or something. I will definitely let you know.
Yeah. Do you ever do a Harry Potter marathon? You know how they used to always be on ABC? That's always classic too.
There you go. And then Die Hard.
Yeah, and then Die Hard. Got
There
it.
you go. Amazing.
I have seen Die Hard. I'll have to rewatch it in your honor.
Yeah. It's like the Christmas movie, you know.
Yeah.
And Home Alone. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. I watched over Thanksgiving. It was on TV. Caught a little bit of Home Alone again. It's always good.
Yeah, they played it like every single time on TV.
Yeah.
Especially during this time. Yeah, so crazy, so fun. And can you share a Christmas story or stories?
Yeah. So let's see. I've talked a lot about my Christmases at my grandparents' house. But this one was really special. I think I was in 6th grade. So I was about 12, and I had already figured out that Santa wasn't real. Although I hid it from my parents for a few years because I thought I would get less presents. So I didn't tell them that I knew. But anyway, but I had 2 younger cousins who still believed in Santa Claus at that point. And I hope there's no children on here listening. I'm ruining this one. But they were a few years younger than me, and we were all there having dinner, and I think we had gotten into our pajamas, and so it was probably like 8:00 at night on Christmas Eve, and the doorbell rang, and we were kind of looking around like everybody's here already, like who is that? And it was Santa Claus.
There you go.
like full beard, full outfit. And I was thinking like, oh man, like at first I was looking at them to see like, okay, which family member, you know, went outside, put a Santa costume on and came to the door. But I was like, everybody's here that I know. And then I was also looking at the adults, and they were all kind of looking at each other like just kind of like, no one really seemed to know who this person was. And then it started to be a little creepy, like, okay,
who's
this stranger that came to our house? And then on top of it, he like knew our names, and I was like, okay. So now I'm kind of being like, wait a minute, is Santa real? And like for days, like no one knew. Like all my aunts and uncles were kind of like, I have no idea who it is, like what. And then apparently my mom told me later that like maybe a few days later, my grandfather was like, oh yes, the neighbor. I told him I told him all your names and everything.
That's so genius.
But I'm like just wondering how many houses he went to and like freaked everybody out. So
yeah, totally. I mean, that would definitely creep everybody out. But since it's Santa, you can. I mean, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, if he was doing anything like inappropriate, like you would stop it. But he was literally just being Santa and being nice to the kids, and so
amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
So cool. And if you could pick 3 words to describe this past year, which ones would you choose?
Difficult for sure, because there was a lot to navigate with the pandemic. Adventurous for me. I was lucky to get out and do quite a bit of traveling, and so and some of it I did like a road trip by myself, and that was really cool. And flexible, because you had to be flexible this year.
Totally, I agree. And what are some of the things that we can expect from you for next year?
Well, I have a few things in the works, and a few things I'm, crossing my fingers for. In June, I had filmed a pilot teaser, and so I'm hoping to see, the edited version of that, and hopefully we get to have a premiere for that, and then hopefully it's pitched to networks and something happens with it, so that would be really great. I'm writing some projects that I'm going to put a lot more time, set a lot more time aside for. So I don't know that you'll see those projects next year, but I'll definitely be focused on them. And then I am planning to move to New York. I have a few shows that I really want to focus on there, and I can already work in New York as a local because I have family there, but I'm just looking for a change of scenery, and so hopefully by this spring I'm hoping to be in New York. And for fun, just on the travel side, I have 4 states left to go to.
That's amazing.
4 out of the 50 left, and so my goal is to get to the last 4.
I mean, I know definitely that if I don't know where to travel to the U.S., I know who to call.
Yeah, I know. I should start writing it down and make a blog or something.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, your own, your whole experience. Traveling from state to state. What are some of the cool things? What are some of the not so cool things?
Yeah, the things to skip.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, yeah. That's awesome. And also, don't forget about your Christmas sweater special edition.
Oh, right. Yes, designing my Christmas sweater.
Because I think at some point, I mean, we all know that at some point you're gonna be. I mean, we're gonna see you basically everywhere, and those sweaters are gonna cost millions.
Yeah, we'll raise a lot of money for some good causes. It'll be great.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so cool. And then, who knows? Maybe at some point we might take it to this show. What it's called?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking? Like the ones that they Pawn Stars.
Oh, yes.
I will take it there and be like, the sweater special edition. Be like, yeah,
it's worth a lot of money now.
It's worth a lot of money. I can agree with that. And my last question here is, what advice could you give to those who want to start following the dreams? Because I mean, it's so typical, right? That after before New Year, you start to plan things. You start to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Typical ones, I'm gonna lose weight or whatever. And so what advice could you give to them, that because for some of them they wait, or just to be like, you know what, I'm gonna start right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say to first get really clear on what your dream is. There's a lot of, journaling exercises you can do to just be really clear and be really honest with yourself of what do you really ultimately want? Sure. And then once you know that, I think it can be so intimidating because it might feel so far from where you are now, right? It might feel like, how does one get there? And I think if you can write it down and sort of map it out and just start to work backwards, thinking okay, if I want to be here, then what would be the step before that, and then the step before that, and then see if you can map it backwards, so that then you can just start with the next thing, right? And so if you want to be a screenwriter, maybe you start with just making sure twice a week you sit down to write. Or if it's acting, a lot of people get frustrated when they don't have auditions, but you can practice auditioning now, right? You can find scenes and work on a scene and get somebody to read with you, and you can audition 2 or 3 times a week on your own, even if it's not an actual audition that you got, but you can practice. So sort of break it down, find some sort of map for where you're going, and then just start small. Just start with one thing at a time, and don't overwhelm yourself, and know that often, depending on the dream, it takes a long time. Sometimes there's dreams that you can start right now, and you can write a script this year for sure, but the long sort of the long-term goals, and if it's a lifestyle that you want, it takes a while. And so you have to start small, and know that you are moving forward, even if you don't see the reward and the progress every day.
There you go, preach on that. Love it. Yeah, I agree on that. I mean, why wait? You know,
Yeah.
why wait until like on a specific day to start something when you can start right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Take baby steps. Yeah, it cut out for a second, but now you're back.
Yeah. I mean, it's the bank that I owe them, but that's not a story. But anyway, so cool, Lexi. I mean, what can I say? I mean, at the end of the day, I do think. I mean, I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it every day. Your career is badass. The fact that you have been traveling like around of awesome places, and the fact that you're traveling, but also working on your career, on your passion. That's amazing, and I think that's kind of the ultimate goal we all want. The fact that we can travel around and see so many different places with our passion, with the thing we love the most. And the fact that you're doing it takes like a lot of courage and huge props and nothing but epic wishes for you to keep killing it, because you're doing amazingly. And as I said it before, I think at some point we're gonna see you basically everywhere. I mean, movies, shows, commercials, everywhere.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna record you and bring you around as my little pep talk.
Definitely do it. And then at some point, remember those sweaters are gonna be worth millions.
They will be. Okay, I'm on it. I'll keep to this promise. I can do some graphic design. I just gotta find somebody who can knit them.
I know how to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know
All
how to
right.
do
I'll
it.
send you the designs.
Yeah. My grandma taught me. I don't know why, but she taught me to do that. So I think I'm the only guy who knows how to do that in the world.
I love it. Yay.
But yeah, I like every now and then I will be doing scarves. So
Cool.
I will later show you one or two or the designs that I made for myself. So
Yeah. We need a Christmas pic with all your scarves on.
totally. Sounds like a plan. We have a plan already then.
All right.
But again, Lexi, thank you so much for being here. As I said, I mean, it is so cool and awesome to have you back. I can't wait to see more of your amazing job. And also, I want to thank those who are watching. If you're watching this later on YouTube or Spotify, listening later on Spotify or Apple Music, make sure that you're following Lexi. Normally, what I would say is for you to put pause, then leave a like, subscribe. It helps me a lot. Then hydrate or eat a chocolate cookie, and then go follow Lexi. Leave a million likes. I mean, let's make it trendy. Let's make Lexi trendy so the whole world knows about her, and then come back. And before I send you off, you know the drill. I need to send you off properly. So, wait.
Thank you so much. Hey, my friend David Jason's here. I'm gonna say hi to him. Thank you.
And keep killing it. And I'll see you in the next one.
Sounds good. Thanks so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.